So let's get started. Hope you can see the slide as well as hear me both. Someone can respond by audio. Someone please respond by audio. Slide കാണാവോ?
Yes sir, പറ്റുന്നുണ്ട്.
Yes sir.
Fine. So we are discussing this OSI model. We'll wind it up and also take up what do you say? The TCP/IP model. We'll have an introduction about TCP/IP model. We'll see the remaining modules. We are going to discuss this TCP/IP model in detail. So today we'll have only introduction about this TCP/IP module here in this first module. Okay. So we were discussing network layer. So what is the data unit in the what do you say, physical layer, called as bits. Then data link layer, it was called as frames. Then when you come to the network layer, it is called as a packet. So network layer device is a router. So router is a network layer device. So router is a device which routes this packet across networks, and several routers, intermediate routers, will be there in the network. So our class, as we have now, the packets are traveling through different paths to different parts of the state as well as country and even abroad. So there are several routers involved in this process. We will see later how to see the intermediate routers. We can see to an extent to the route. You can trace route. You can trace the route. You can send a sort of ping-like message and get a trace of the paths. There are Windows software also available. Linux tools are there to trace the route. So this path varies. It is not taking a fixed path. It's so we were started with transport layer, and we were to mention something about the connectionless and connection oriented approaches. So the transport layer is concerned with end-to-end delivery of the entire message. So transport layer is a layer above network layer. So it's just above the network layer. So it is receiving this what do you say, packets from the network layer, and it is sending those packets, reading its header, decapsulating its header, and then sending those data units to the session layer at the decapsulation side, at the receiver side, and at the sender side. It is receiving data from the session layer and formatting it in the form of segments. You will format in the form of segments with the header of the transport layer header, which is denoted here as H4, and then it passes on to the network layer, and network layer will organize these things as packets. So the packet size varies depending upon the network parameters set. So depending upon different parameters, depending upon the protocol and all those things, the packet size will vary. So so we are seeing a black box like thing right now. So we are seeing the generalized picture of this. So when we come to specific protocols, the packet size, all those things will vary. You can vary. There is some sort of flexibility there. OS is also playing a role there. So transport layer is this is the function. So segmentation and reassembly, these two functions. So it is accepting messages from the session layer, breaks the message into smaller units. Now headers also. That's what I mentioned from this picture. So the same thing is written there. Then there is one particular role is the service point addressing. So service point addressing is a very important task. You need to deliver this message to the correct process running on the. So you are receiving a message from the sender side from some software, some application software which is like running at say at the higher layer, and this is communicating the transport layer through some pathways, and you need to, the transport layer will assign something which is called as a port number. So port number or port address or service point address to that message, so that it will be delivered to the correct process on the receiver side. So if it is if it is a message that is intended for just a minute, someone joined the class from other ID. So to make such a delivery, you have some port addresses. Say for instance, port 80 is for HTTP, and for port for HTTPS you have, I think it is 483. It's a 3-number port. 543 I think so. 543 is for this HTTPS. So service point addresses, they are assigned by this body, which is called as IANA. IANA is assigning this service point addresses. I'll leave this link in the chat box or else or in the classroom, so that you can have a look at the service point addresses. There are known addresses which cannot be used by some other. Then there are port numbers which can be used for a local use. That is also there. Then so there are two types of services are provided by the transport layer to the session layer. So the lower layer provides a service to the higher layer. One is a connection oriented approach, which is say similar to, what do you say, you can say circuit switching. You can say, I won't say the term the circuit switching, but rather it involves these stages. Says say that involves some sort of acknowledgement back to the what do you say, sender that packet has received. The best example is the transmission control protocol. TCP has two types of services. One is say TCP and UDP. UDP is user datagram protocol. So user datagram protocol is a connectionless service. There is no acknowledgement. I can say the streaming media. The best example you can say is streaming, the video stream. Say for instance, you are watching a live stream and some jitter comes, some packet loss comes, you are losing that portion of the video. Maybe if it is a recorded thing is there, you can watch it, say it is YouTube live, and midway there is a glitch, you lose some packets, and you will see from the say n plus t frame alone. You won't see at that moment what those frames. You will miss some frames. So that is the connectionless approach. So it's a lossy, but it doesn't. If you have a record, so you can scroll back and see later. If you have a YouTube lives have option to save this thing and then view it later. So that is offline viewing is also there. So you can view it later. But this is a connection less service where there is no retransmission or acknowledgement that I have received a packet. Whereas in a connection oriented approach, there is the acknowledgement by the receiver to the sender that I have received the packets or I have not received these packets. These packets are missing, that things are there. Your TCP is a reliable way of communication, whereas UDP is user datagram protocol. These two are from the TCP API protocol suite. So we'll discuss this connection oriented and connectionless service things there. But thing is that one is a reliable one. A connection oriented approach is a reliable one, whereas a connectionless service is unreliable, but it's faster. It's much lightweight as well. So lightweight as well. You don't have this overhead of acknowledgements and retransmissions. So that that depends on what type of service a session layer software needs. That depending upon that, you request that service. The program requests a particular service. The program is made with a particular service in mind. So then we come to the session layer. From here there is lot of vagueness. The session and presentation layer are filled with the politics of OSI standardization. So the US, UK, US and the Europe, they have conflicts on lot of things in telecom, television standards, everything. Russia has a different television standard as well. Japan has a different television standard. So we follow the European thing, PAL, phase alternation by line, whereas the US they follow NTSC standard. Then the Russians they have so the number of lines in the frame, it varies, the scan rate varies, all those things. Same way Japanese have a different standard, French have a different standard for television transmission, where same way the telecom also, Europe is totally what do you say, at crossroads. They are having a different set of standards, so but they are compatible, some sort of compatibility is there. So if you say telecom, you have SDH, synchronous digital hierarchy, in the European side for optical networks, whereas you can hear there is quite a lot of noise coming from outside. I hope you can hear. Hello, you can hear my the lecture or the sound.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, so there is what do you say, SONET is a synchronous optical network standard by which is followed in the US. Japanese have another standard. So there when you have international communications happening over an optical network, there is this problem of adjusting the data rates. The data rates in these three standards do vary, so the specifications vary. So there is an issue of how you make them compatible. It's working fine. They say ours is best, that is a problem. So same thing happened in the session layer and the presentation layer. These are very vague. The OSI model is full of ambiguity regarding what the session layer is. Dialogue control and synchronization. Dialogue control in the sense who speaks first, which process or which process is or which is to speak. That is what, which sender or receiver can speak. It's a sort of and also clocks synchronization between these two parties. That is what the session layer. You will find only even if you take the OSI standard. I have a PDF with me. If possible, I'll share it with this view. There are also a lot of ambiguity as to what is to be done with this session layer. Anyway, simply said, this is a task. There it inserts synchronization. What do you say? Pulses or synchronization bits in the long message. The long message that comes in from the presentation layer. So what happens is that if by some reason there is a disruption in the communication at some point, so you know that the transmission is going on, and midway if there is a glitch here, you need not transmit from this portion on. You can transmit from this portion. So if you have received the this synchronization bit correctly, then the transmission can take place from retransmission can take place from this point on. So sync bit 2, that manner. So that is what the task of synchronization has to do. So synchronization is to bring about some some order in say in the case of errors. If there is some errors creeping in during transmission, that can be sorted out by using synchronization bits. Then your session layer and then presentation layer. So presentation layer is for compression is a task of presentation layer. They are very clear about that. Encryption is also happening at the presentation layer. Whatever data is coming from your browser or any software that runs in the application layer, there is encrypted. Then translation is from one you have different data representation formats like EBCDIC, EBCSID, EBCDIC, ASCII, all those things. So translation from one form of representation to the other, that is the task of this presentation layer, translation from one format to other. Then compression of data and decompression at this side, and encryption and decryption. All those things are assigned, tasks are assigned to the presentation layer. There are two layers which is very vague there, but application layer everyone is clear about. Application layer is what is having a direct human interface. The people are communicating with this the protocol by means of different applications. Say it may be a browser, a file transfer and management, FTMS file transfer and management protocol, X500, X400, all those things were obsolete protocols in the OSI days. These were there. These were all concerned with frame, relay, all those things. Now no longer exist. For the best thing you can give is a browser or a chat software. All those things are application layer software, and that provides services to the user. So user interacts with the network, uses the network, you can say, using these application layer software, and the user is not aware of what all process is happening behind the scenes. You are just typing in word, you don't know how it is encrypted, whether it is compressed, whether it is you are talking on a secure line. Say for instance in your browser, when you use banking sites and all secure sites, you will say HTTPS, and the key icon is, if you just go to the top left corner, you will say this site is secure. I don't know how what extent it is secure, but it is secure, they say. And again, so that connectivity is there. You say your WhatsApp messages are end-to-end encrypted. I don't really believe that. So maybe they can say that this chat with this person is end-to-end encrypted. Fine, it looks fine. So anyway, that's regarding the application layer. Summary of these functions of different layers. Application layer allows access to the network resources, encryption, translation. We mentioned that. Session layer, establishing main sessions, all those things, and synchronization pulses. Transport layer, end-to-end delivery of the message. Segment, this is called as a segment here. The data unit is called as a segment here. Here it is a packet, here it is a frame, and here this is bits. So if you remember, these four layers have specific names for the data units. That is here message or segment, then here you have packets, then frame, and then bits. So this is a summary. Any clarifications on OSI model? And please ask. I have put a 4-page handout which I got from some other resource. I have shared the link as well as to why the OSI model failed. That's posted in the classroom, Google Classroom. Please do read it, why OSI model failed. So why OSI model failed is because of the universities. The OSI model failed because this TCP/IP model. You have any doubts regarding OSI model about whatever we discussed till now? Yes, no? I'll see the chat box. Known as 52, 51. Okay. I'll continue with this TCP/IP protocol. So it's not transport control protocol, rather it is transmission control protocol / internet protocol. That is TCP/IP model. So TCP/IP model is a model which is currently in vogue in our data communication networks, and this is you can say it's a layer something has a 4-layered structure. There is an application layer where you have all these application software running, different application software. We will see that there are variety of protocols also they are coming there. So some providing, so there are interfaces are specified. This is also a layered protocol. So your transport protocol, two dominant protocols in the transport layer are the TCP and UDP. Then internet protocol, IP. Then there is a network access. Network access comprises all this physical layer, routers, all those things. So IPv4, IPv6, all those things come in this side. So we are running with IPv6, then both are concurrently running. Then we'll come to that. So this is the application layer provides a user interface, encoding, all those things. All this, if you observe this is combining the functions of the presentation layer and the session layer, dialog control, all those things. This is all put in this box. Then transport layer is between diverse devices. You can use your TCP/IP protocol to communicate with across a network. Say you can communicate across a network which is managed using a proprietary protocol, say novel network, and you can communicate with your network which is following TCP/IP protocol, like that. Interconversion is possible. There are diverse network, heterogeneous networks are there, can communicate using this protocol. Then the internet IP is determining the paths in the network. You mentioned about logical address. Logical address is provided by IP, internet IP address. Then the hardware component, here you have all those physical addressing as well as the routers, cables, all those things come in this network access layer. So we'll see there is some set of just as in the OSI model, there is encapsulation there. You have different protocols, say file transfer protocol, symbol mail transfer protocol, SNMP. I don't remember exactly what this means. So then transport layer, two dominant protocols, TCP and UDP. Then internet layer, say this is internet protocol. Each of these layers will while the data is being sent from the sender side, each of these layers will add its header. So that's how it will communicate with the peer process in the receiver side. Hope this terminologies are okay with you. So at the receiver side, this particular header will enable this application layer to communicate with the application layer on the receiver side. So sender side this arrow, receiver side this arrow. So they have combined this picture I lifted out from internet. This really summarizes, say ICMP, this is gateway management protocol, all those things. ICMP is used for this ping, all those things, ping messages. So ICMP messages are used to give you the ping results. So then again the link layer, your Ethernet protocol, open shortest path first. So that is address resolution protocol. X25 is an almost obsolete protocol. Ethernet still exists. Ethernet is you can say LAN uses Ethernet. That's what. So that will be LAN, WAN, all those things are using what is Ethernet protocol. We will discuss all those things in the subsequent modules, but this is a summary of the TCP/IP protocol suite. So this is what the the network access layer, the lower layer, is combining the functions of data link layer and physical layer, physical addressing, transmission. Whatever we mentioned earlier, that's what physical addressing, MAC address, cables, all those things is the network access layer. Internet layer is equivalent to your network layer on OSI model. Logical addressing, IP is the task. We have two protocols there, IPv Internet Protocol version 4 and Internet Protocol version 6. If you check your IP settings, you will see that IPv4 and IPv6 are enabled. You can disable IPv6, there is no problem in your OS, there is no problem. Try things. Don't just use the computer to watch movie alone and attend the class. It's always good to experiment with your computer and make it make it not working, and then try to make it work. So this is a learning exercise. So don't do before you embark on any such missions, read the standard problems, back up your data, all those things. But in most cases data won't go just like that. The worst thing you can do to your PC is updating your BIOS. Don't do that ever. BIOS, whatever BIOS the manufacturer has given is good enough for a PC. Don't try those things. I have done once. It was one time thing. It is a very risky thing, especially if you don't have a UPS backup. Power fails when you flash the BIOS. You can throw away that chip, not chip, the board probably, if you can't replace the BIOS chip. Okay, so don't do that. Then again, why this IPv4, IPv6, this you are aware, most people are aware of that. We are short of addresses, and then we went for a 128-bit address, but it is represented. So this IP addresses, we are not going to fall short in near future. That is what they expect. But once we this Internet of Things and all those domains came up, we are having addresses. We were finding the need of more requirement of addresses. Maybe once we go to Mars and all those places, we go to other planets, maybe in your lifetime you are going to see that people are going to stay in Mars. First they will stay in Moon, then from there they will go to Mars. So why? A lot of reasons. Human beings, they want to explore. Then a lot of people will start staying under the oceans. They will have special cities there. We haven't discovered much about the oceans. That is what is beneath the oceans. Okay. So this is transport layer 2 protocols. That is a reliable protocol. That is what I mentioned. TCP. Then user datagram protocol. It's a connectionless protocol. Streaming media, online multiplayer games, voice over internet. Here reliable protocol. There is retransmission, email, a secure shell host, all these things, file transfer protocol. So it is error-free delivery of data is the role. Same role as in a OSI model. So this is the thing. If you have this OSI layers, and so OSI, the toppermost 3 layers are being combined to an application layer. You have different protocols running in the application layer. Then transport layer, say secure transport protocol. So that's what I remember. I didn't check up. I used to remember what is it. I forgot. So TCP, UDP, these 2 dominant protocols. Internet protocol, you have address resolution protocols, reverse address resolution protocols, ICMP, IGMP, gateway management protocol. This is gateway management protocol. And this is in the IP layer. And data link layer, this is doing the task of this physical addressing. Here there is logical addressing in the internet layer. This is a summary of TCP and OSI model. Now on our subsequent sessions will be based on IP alone. I suppose I request you to check this, how big the internet is, or the internet routes. I'll share these links in the classroom. When you get time, please do see how big the internet is. This is as big. Internet was like this. This is from the project Opti in 2015. So you can see for yourself how this is different nodes are interconnected. Internet is growing at a very fast rate, it seems. So do give this these 2 links a try, and I'll paste these links in the classroom so that you can the other link as well, the IANA port service point addressing, that case. So so with that we